Hey y'all, sprinkle sprinkle. Welcome to the channel. Y'all hit the like button as y'all get in. I'm getting ready to link my book. So, we are going to be discussing underestimated intelligence and I'm just going to link my book here. And the law of rhythm. This is part of the universal principles. And I'm going to tell you guys some examples and things like that. So, hey, y'all click like as y'all get in here. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Click the like button. Appreciate you guys. So, if y'all are unfamiliar with the law of rhythm is, I'm going to explain it in a simple manner. I'm also going to read it from my book, How to Manifest with Magic and Dark Cosmic Energy. This is the link. Let me pin this. And y'all can get this on Amazon. So, I'm going to read from the book about what law of rhythm is. So, we are going to be discussing. And in layman's terms, law of rhythm is basically, once the pendulum swings this way, it has to swing that way. And the word law doesn't necessarily mean that that law cannot be controlled. So you can control a law. You can put standards on a law. You can manipulate a law. You can find loopholes in the laws. Okay. So many people that study, okay, here we go. Many people that study law know this, and laws are meant to be manipulated. Laws are also meant to have loopholes. And so it goes the same with universal law. Okay. So if you understand the law of rhythm, which means what goes up, right? But you can control the timing of that rhythm, which is exactly, it's in here, I just don't feel like searching. I explained it good enough. But we can control the timing of that rhythm, okay? And this is the underestimated intelligence that comes in and controls the timing of the rhythm, okay? What was my major in college? Money. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Getting this money. Honestly, I majored in this embalming sciences. I was a mortician. I have a degree in embalming sciences. And in order to have a degree in embalming sciences, you have to have a lot of science in your background, in your educational background. So I took microbiology, biology, anatomy, chemistry. So I have a lot of science in my background. I also took a lot of psychology. I also took a lot of other types of like fine arts, such as life drawing, where I got to draw nude people posing that I did not want to see, but it was interesting. All right. I also have another degree in culinary arts. So there's a lot of science in it too, because cooking is basically alchemy. All right, moving on. Timing, the law of rhythm, is where the underestimated intelligence comes from. Because at any time, you can switch the rhythm. Okay? This is why music is very influential, because it can switch rhythms at any time. It can switch a beat. The law of rhythm is very different. American jazz music, hip hop, and funk defy the natural law of rhythm, because they can switch it up at any given time and it still will sound good. And it's also an intelligence because it creates a different frequency. So I teach all about frequency and all that kind of stuff in here too. There are charts. But the underestimated intelligence, music is an intelligence within itself. It's also, if it's a sound is also intelligence. Light is also intelligence. And, they all kind of are connected based on their speed. They can turn into each other. Okay. And they can also put out a vibration. They can change the thought pattern. They can change the physical matter of things around it. Okay. And so you see a lot of people, talking about underestimated intelligence these days, and that's exactly the point of certain types of music. And what I'm getting into is you control your own narrative. You control your own upswing and downswing, depending on what it is that you choose to do. So, for example, a lot of people always talk about karma, cosmic law, blah, 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 blah. A true alchemist has underestimated intelligence because they know how to work with, around, loopholes, and all that kind of stuff with cosmic law, with universal law. They don't have to abide by it. They can transmute it. They can manipulate it. They can change the timing of things. They can find loopholes, So there are some people that still feel the need to judge certain people and threaten them or threaten cosmic law, or you always got to pay a price. No, you don't. Ask the gold digger. Okay? Sometimes there are loopholes and shortcuts and ways to get what you want. And that is exactly the law of correspondence or the law of cause and effect. You create your outcome before you act. So you know what's going to happen. This is the underestimated intelligence of a true alchemist. So cosmic law should not be put in the same category as some type of karma or negative feeling. It's there for you to use at your disposal. It's part of the way that you create. And if we start looking at it in a negative way and start using it against people that we don't agree with, then what are we? What are we doing? We're putting limits on it. How can you sit there and put a limit on a cosmic law or a universal law? There are no limits. So when people try to comment and say things like, oh, well, you got to worry about cosmic law, that's unbalanced. There are no limits. Okay? If you think limited, that's on you. That's your universe. That's your cosmic law. Don't put that over here. Okay? And that's how people keep closed minds. If people were so connected to the cosmos and universal and cosmic laws, their minds would not be that closed. Okay, you might have a little bit of suspicion, but you need to work through that a little bit. And once you work through it and you realize the law of rhythm and the timing, because you set that up beforehand and you don't really have to do anything you didn't plan to do. And sometimes we don't even know how it's going to work out, but we already know it's going to work out because we already said it would, and that's what we manifested. So why would we sit here in fear that we manifested something to work out? That's how you go in with no fear. You manifest things to work out and on your benefit, no matter what. And when you go in to execute, you have zero fear. All right. If you didn't manifest your life that way, maybe you should readjust it and get back into manifesting and manifest your life in that manner. So you don't have to walk around in fear, you know. And I think a lot of people need to remember that there are no limits unless you put them on. And a lot of people try to put limits on, shackles on, chains on people's minds, the way they believe, the way they manifest, because they can't do it. Okay. If you have more than me, if you have more than the person you're giving advice to, if you have more than the person that you are trying to warn against something, 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 great. But that's your life. And you can't expect people to listen to you if you haven't accomplished what they have. It's not ever going to work. Okay. And what I'm trying to tell y'all is stop listening to people that have not accomplished what you have. Stop listening to them. They have nothing to give you but how they couldn't do what you did, period. Um, you can learn from pretty much anybody, but you don't have to take advice. There's a difference. When I say don't listen to people, that it doesn't mean you can't learn from them. You can learn where they went wrong. You can learn their mistakes. You can learn where they did something positive, or you can learn where they went negative, so that you have a map, a road map to say, okay, well, this person thinks this way. These are their limits. Now, how do I, with my level of underestimated intelligence, push past all those limits and barriers that they have run into and become who I'm supposed to become, or who I am, but better? You know what I'm saying? So having a lot of negative people giving you advice, you can sit there and listen to it while gathering intelligence. You can sit there and gather what you're there to gather. Now, a lot of people underestimate your intelligence because they're not, thinking that you're there for a whole different reason. They're basically saying, okay, well, I think your knowledge is valuable. Let me listen to what you have to say. But at the same time, their underestimated intelligence and them using the law of rhythm could simply mean, I'm here to investigate exactly why you think this way, so I don't make the same mistake. Okay. Some people try to force you to listen. Exactly. But, be there for a whole different purpose. And the reason that I say this is because I got a lot of, I didn't even, let me rephrase that. The reason why I say this is because I got a few, maybe two negative comments about what I was speaking on, about how I saw a certain someone get out of contracts in one sudden fell swoop. And they were upset because they felt like I sided with that person. And there are no limits in the world or the universe. And, a lot of times people feel like when someone does something bad, they're going to get something bad back in return. That's not true. If you plan to do something bad to get something good, then that's what you're going to get, something good. Okay? This is why taking certain words and flipping them and making them have different meanings is very important. Um, if you plan something bad in order to create a good outcome, that's what you did. Period. If you infiltrate a business or a place and you find out their weaknesses and what they don't tolerate and what they do tolerate, and if you look at their numbers before you arrive, and when you say you might leave, if you see the stock drop, you know your power. You know that you are unlimited, but they are limited. So what do? You find those loopholes. You use the law of rhythm and your timing. You execute your plan to get what you want. Okay. You find out people's that you find their weakness and you find their strengths and you gather your information all while being unsuspected because you are labeled crazy, you are labeled ignorant, and all those type of things. But really, that was just your ticket to be underestimated. Even if you said it in the past, a lot of people don't listen to a lot of the music that people put out. They just see a dollar sign on their head. So it's always great to warn people exactly what it is you're getting ready to get. And that's the fine print on a lot of people's contracts, because there are also contracts that aren't written but spoken. They might have been written on a piece of paper. They might be written in some lyrics, but they've been put out into the universe, baby. Okay? That's why you don't listen to the music of the people that you sign, like Adidas. They don't listen to his lyrics carefully. They're not going to see what he's planned. They just see a dollar sign. They were blinded by the money. And because he already told, like Kanye already told, or Ye already told people what he was going to do way in advance. So a lot of times, a lot of these people that sign him, they don't listen to his music, which is the same thing as not being able to read the fine print on the contract. Except fine print is very small, but loud music and voice and vocal frequency that is universally or globally being played over and over, being streamed into the atmosphere, into the plasma, through the 5G, through your phone, through your computer, is more powerful than any words or small print on a contract. So when underestimated, when underestimated intelligence starts to rise, there's nothing you can do. It's already done. Period. You see a spell work. It's done. It's been done. It's so done, it's over. We just have to actually act it out and live it out. So a lot of times people don't realize that air is an element. Frequency, waves, intelligence, lyrics, words, voice, frequency, intention in your words, beats, instruments. Those are all frequencies. And once they've infiltrated, I don't know how many people in stadiums, on radio, once they've infiltrated and have created a change in the way you think, in your DNA. Sorry. I always get interrupted by scam like me. Once your DNA has changed molecularly due to the type of music you're listening to, once your brain and your subliminals have changed due to the type of music that you're listening to, then your mental changes, the way you think changes, the very way you vibrate changes, right? And it's done. And this is why a lot of music artists, they may have to be silenced for a little while, but their music has already been put out there. It is what it is, right? And so it's already done. Even like if you want to do something biblically, even the most popular part of the Bible is Psalms, and that's a song. Period. The most popular quotes from the Bible are from Psalms, which was a written song. So Make sure you remember that. And a lot of these people can't see from the same perspective as some people who actually know the music and listen to the music and been infiltrated with the music. They don't have the same frequency, therefore they can't see, or they're not able to comprehend that intelligence. So, a lot of people will fix their mouths to say stuff about these rappers, or, these businessmen who, are also rappers, but they don't have the intel. They don't have the formula. They don't have the music because they never listened to it. So, you know how they say when you know, you know? Well, sometimes you have to listen to know. And when you decode the music, exactly. If you don't know, now you know. Listen to the music. Stop listening to the media. The media is not music. The media programs you with nothing but negativity and division. And a lot of times music doesn't. It makes you feel good, it motivates you, it takes you to the next level, it boosts your confidence. It's especially the type of music that, is good. Not all music is good, but you can choose what you want to listen to. Now that we have streaming, you can type in and on your phone or your computer what exactly you want to hear. It's not by force, but media is shoved down your throat. The news is shoved down your throat if you want to listen to it, but you don't have to. You can turn that. So um, you said everyone getting canceled. And Kanye is using the law of rhythm in reverse, y'all. He's smart. I'm telling you. He's going to all these companies to see who gonna mess with him. So he's basically setting up all these companies publicly to see don't to show everyone who's not dealing with him. So when he does what he has to do, everybody will forsake those other companies because of how they treated him. That's the best way to get rid of the competition. Do it before you even go into business. The best way to get rid of competition is to squash them before you even go into business. Okay. I will repeat that. Expose A lot of people don't realize that all Kanye or Ye is doing is exposing the businesses that don't work with him, that don't want to work with him, or that don't want to do business with him because they're afraid or they don't want the backlash. And all that's doing is making people that like him not mess with those businesses anymore. And when he comes out with his new products and his lines, they're not going to support the other businesses, but they will support him instead. And so, I mean, he was trying to show a lot of people how he made Adidas this multi-billion dollar company when he showed up, because nobody was wearing Adidas except soccer players before Kanye got there. Then he made it popular. Him and Beyonce made it popular, but he made it more popular. And when he said that he might leave, the stock started going down. He hadn't left yet. He hadn't said all those anti-Semitic comments yet. But he did say a month before he left, or they left him, that he was thinking about leaving because they would not give him what he wanted in the contract. And when rumors of him leaving hit, the stocks went down. Not him leaving, but rumors that he might leave made all their stocks plummet. So he was trying to show he was trying to show them his power. He was trying to show them what his influence brought to that company. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to let y'all see what's going to happen if I'm not here. I'm going to give y'all a little taste of his law of rhythm. Give y'all a little sneak preview. And so instead of struggling, and if you're in an inside business and you say, well, what is the one thing, that would make y'all cut ties with me? Like, well, if you have a bad, PR, if The media is against you, and if you say something bad, we have to worry about what people are going to think about our company, so we would have to let you out of that contract. And so he said the worst thing he could think of, because his contract was not going to be finished until 2026. So he wanted out before that because they wouldn't meet his standards. And so he said all these terrible things on purpose because he knew that would be the only way for them to cut ties. So, he first tried it out with the White Lives Matter t-shirt, and Black people got mad about that. But Adidas didn't say nothing. They didn't cut ties with him because he said Black people was mad and talking about yay crazy and why he wearing that shirt. Adidas didn't care about that. They were like, you know what, white lives do matter. So I don't care about what the Black people think because white lives matter. And then so after the White Lives Matter thing, he said, you know what? Some anti-Semitic things. That's when they cut ties. So you can talk about Black people all day, every day, but you can't talk about Jewish people. We have to cut ties with you. But you could talk about your own people. You can make your own people mad. We don't care. So he's showing you what it takes. He's showing you what the media and these companies prioritize. So just watch the timing, watch the law of rhythm take place, watch the underestimated intelligence take place. Look from a different perspective. All right. So no one cared. They didn't cancel him after White Lives Matter. Nobody canceled. He had all his contracts after that t-shirt because he was trying to show you. They don't care about us. But you say something and every contract you have gets canceled. Because they're trying to show you. They will take your money, but they will not stand up for you. Especially if you're a person of color, and their main influencer, wears a t-shirt that says White Lives Matter and talks bad about, the Black Lives Matter movement and George Floyd and all that kind of stuff. Whether he believes it or not, it doesn't matter. They didn't do nothing. They didn't say nothing. He kept all his contracts. It's okay. We don't care. Just give me your money. But as soon as he said some anti-Semitic, and what he said as far as, anti-Semitic things weren't even as bad as what he said about Black Lives Matter, somebody dying and wearing a White Lives Matter. It wasn't even as bad, but they canceled him. So he's trying to show you these companies will take your money, take his money, and won't stand up for you when someone says and talks, offensively about you. They're not going to stand up for you. And they won't even give him the type of contract that he wants. And he took Adidas from zero, almost going bankrupt, to $1 billion company. And they wouldn't even give him the type of contract he wanted. So that means they don't even care about him enough to keep him because they want, they got greedy. That's what he keeps saying. They got greedy. And I'm going to show them some greed. And there's no better way to get your own company started than by exposing all the other companies. And so when he gets up to make his speech about how he said this, and that, and they did not stand up for you, but I said this and that about, anti-Semitic, slurs or whatnot, they all cut me off. Nobody would talk to me because they don't care about you, but they will take your money. It's like a gold digger, okay? So when he goes to open his own company, he's going to expose all of them and tell everyone, look, I'll stand up for you. because like and they said today he went into Skechers and they unannounced and they escorted him out. They won't even talk to him. He said Skechers. I know that was a troll right there. Okay, that was comedy right there. What he did right there, he went to Skechers. That was like a bluff, like a comedy troll bluff. You know what I'm saying? Um, if y'all have a sense of humor, imagine Kanye trying to walk into Skechers. Exactly. It's a joke. He's playing with these people. He's pulling these strings. He's exposing people. He's taking out his competition before he goes into business. But I took my Skechers off so quick. I'm like, I had some Skechers too. I was like, I can't wear these no more. But honestly, it's I'll probably still wear them. But what I'm saying, I got what he was doing. Because he even got you to think about it for a split second. Like all the people that like him are going, if they got Skechers, they probably less likely to wear them, or they won't buy them again, or they'll be in line to be a new customer when all the shoe lines diss him. He's taking out the competition one at a time without even doing anything but visiting. He ain't got to pay no advertisement. He don't have to put out no commercial. All he do is just be him. Like on his song Otis with Jay-Z, he says, talking real reckless, stunt man. You say I'm crazy, well, I'm about to go dumb again. Underestimated intelligence. And he's going to talk his talk and expose people because without even having to pay an advertisement fee. But he said this 11 years ago in that song Otis. And why do these scammers keep calling me? Oh, I don't even know that number, so I don't answer. All right. He said like how he dissed the RAV4 car as being basic and people stopped liking the car. I know. That's all he got to do is say something. So on the video Otis, I did a little mini breakdown in the community section, but it starts off in a warehouse, piece of property with a bunch of warehouses in blue. And then they're taking the ceiling and the doors off of a Maybach, which is a very valuable car. And the warehouses represent Black business. The ceiling coming off of the car representing removing the ceiling, removing the closed doors to, starting your own factories, your own warehouses. And so this was 11 years ago. And he says, talking real reckless, stunt man. He says, we still get money up under you. He says that, call him crazy. Well, he about to go dumb again. And then he said, just watch and listen to the lyrics. And Otis, of course, he had Otis and James Brown in the background music. And one of the things that James Brown says in the background, at least that's what it sounds like, it says, free me. And then, of course, Otis Redding, he's like R&B singer from the old days. He died in a plane crash, but Otis also is the name of an elevator company that elevators means to elevate. And so putting it like this is the magic in the music and the visuals. Now that we have video, the visuals and the music combined together, sound, sight, light, and all of this is a program. And so since 11 years ago, there have been more people starting their own business, going towards entrepreneurship, starting their own whatever, right? And so that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to switch the narrative in order for us to own our own things. And they're slowly exposing people that don't really care about you but will take your money. And after they exposed all of those people, they're going to start their own and take all of their. Kanye West calls people, or Ye calls like people that listen to hip hop, its own people. Like, it doesn't matter if they're black or white or whatever, because he said hip hop is a culture. And so if you listen to the music, it does affect you in how you think, and how you act, and how you walk, and how you talk, and how you think, and how you relate to the world, and what your values are, and all of this, and how you see certain people. So that's why they say it's a culture, and it's not about race if you listen to the music. But the main race in hip hop culture is definitely people of color, black people. And so he just wanted to show you. That's why he put white lives matter, because everybody that's not white are people of color on the shirt. So he was telling people, they don't care if I talk trash or say white lives matter and it offends black people or people of color, but they do care if I say something anti-Semitic, because the media don't care. They'll just say, like, look how they reacted in the media. It's like, oh, Kanye West has a White Lives Matter t-shirt on and da 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 da. But then when he said anti-Semitic things, they all canceled him, called him out, telling him he was crazy, and begging him to apologize. Literally, if you're on TV begging a grown man, as a grown man, to apologize for something he said, it shows your weakness. And I'm going to repeat that. It doesn't even matter what he said. He has freedom of speech, just like Donald Trump did. Nobody begged Donald Trump to apologize. Look, let me repeat that. No one begged Donald Trump to apologize. They didn't go on interviews and say, Donald, don't you think what you said was a bit offensive? Could you apologize? They dare never ask him to apologize. And they didn't make a big deal about it either. They just made a big deal about what he said, but they never collectively came down upon Donald Trump begging him to apologize. But they did Kanye. They came down collectively begging him on every interview to apologize, and he wouldn't. Because he was trying, the law of rhythm is timed. The underestimated intelligence is in place. He's going to show you how many people begged him to apologize and how many people are controlled. He's showing you how many people are controlled, how many people are under contract, how many people need to beg him to apologize, how many companies won't mess with him. And when he comes out with his line or whatever he's getting ready to do, he's going to expose all of them. He's going to have a list with receipts, and that's it. He's going to have a list with receipts, and that's just going to be that. You said they trying to hold him. They can't hold him. You can't hold someone who don't care. And they should have knew that when they asked him to apologize, and he said no. That means you don't care. You said what you said. Period. You didn't try to be political and make a nice, neutralizing statement. You just said, I said what I said. That means I don't care. And you're exposed. And I'm not going to do it. And we know you're blocked. And so they try to then they try to blast the fact that he's no longer a billionaire. But they never blasted the fact that he was a billionaire on the media until he lost the status. So he's trying to show you. He's trying to show you what they're doing and how the media works. He's unhinging the media. He's like, oh, y'all didn't blast that I am a billionaire, The only way you're going to say I'm a billionaire is to say that I am no longer a billionaire, but you said I'm a billionaire. So either way, the word magic that's going through the airwaves on the media, yay, Kanye, billionaire status. The universe does not understand that no longer. It just understands billionaire status, period. You know how when you read about law of attraction and it said the universe only understands certain words, you focus on certain words, the words are bigger and bolder. Oh, Kanye West loses billionaire status. So you said I was a billionaire, huh? That's the magic. He is trolling everyone successfully, and he is really good at it. Johnny, thank you for being here, a member in the house. So they wouldn't, you when he became a millionaire or he hit his millionaire status, they didn't blast it on the news until he lost it. They didn't blast on the news that he was thinking about leaving Adidas because he was unhappy with the unfair contract. But they blasted it when Adidas, quote unquote, had to let him go because of his anti-Semitics. You see, they wouldn't stand up for him, but they did try to pull him down. They didn't stand up for the White Lives Matter shirt because Black people were upset, but they did stand up when he said anti-Semitic things. So he's trying to show you who's on your side and who's not, who's on whose side. He's trying to show you the division that is being veiled. He's trying to show you the are bought, handlers, who's handled. You know, he's trying to tell you a lot of things without really saying it. He said they don't believe you to make exactly. What is apparent in public info? He was a billionaire. Exactly. But they, like, the media will hop on negative news, tearing people down before they stand for them, especially if they're people. Instead of, like, if some person who's maybe white or Jewish had a problem with a contract and was being treated unfair, the media may try to help them and promote their stance. But when Kanye was having problems, nobody wanted to promote him, saying, "Oh, this is unfair. This needs to be looked at." Da, 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 da. They weren't doing that with him. So he used the law of rhythm and the law of correspondence to create his master plan, and he's executing it right now. And people can't really be upset with him. Like, he may have not been able to stir the media and stir the masses enough with the White Lives Matter t-shirt, so he took it to the next level. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, he's throwing Black people and Jewish people under the bus," and then you see who got rescued from the bus, from being under the bus. You see who the media took up for, who got put under the bus. You see who the media is making him apologize to specifically when two groups of people got thrown under the bus. You see which one they're choosing. That's all he's showing you. That's all he's showing you. He's saying, "I'm throw both of us under the bus and see who they gonna get." Period. I'm gonna throw both of us under a bus and let's see who they rescue. He said, "People trapped in a burn." You love the law of rhythm. It's constant reminder to me that nothing is stagnant. Also transmutable, which makes it even better. Exactly. So y'all see who they rescued and stood up for, and y'all see who they left under the bus. What if he's a distraction? He's it's already in the music. It's already done. It's not a distraction. It's just unfolding. The underestimated intelligence is simply now unfolding. It's like uploading a video. And then once everything is uploaded, then you can watch it. We're watching it now. It's already been uploaded. It's done. Power Remix. Y'all have to know the music. Power Remix. They took it off YouTube. You got to search for that. It might be one video of that on YouTube, and it's probably sped up because of the copyright. Well, listen to the song "Power," the remix. Okay. So why spend so much mental energy there? Because it's unfolding. It's like watching a movie after waiting for it to come out. It's like you see all these previews for the movies, and you say, "Well, I can't wait till that show comes out or that movie comes out." And then once your show comes out, everybody gets online to write their review about it, how good it was, what they think of the characters. That's all that's happening. So the energy in promoting the movie, or as he calls it, a video game, the energy that's going to promote this is showing you how slick it was done. So what is it a distraction from? They already have distracted. Think about it. What can you be distracted from that you're not already distracted from by your phone? Maybe the distraction is from other social media, as social media, the logarithm. Maybe it's not a distraction from something on the outside, but a distraction from something on the inside. You said war, death. Most of the youth and most of the people don't even know there's a war. So how could it be a distraction? You're already distracted. Do you think if Ye never said what he said, that people would all of a sudden realize that there's some type of war? No, because they're already distracted. So he might as well get in what he fit in, right? You said you don't think Kanye is media Jesus. Neither they didn't think that about Michael Jackson either until after. You don't have to be okay. Jesus is not one person. It's a type of person. It is a person that it's now used as a typical way to describe someone that is being crucified by a group of people. Period. And they use the term Jesus or Yeezus or Yeezy because he's literally being crucified by the media, which he calls the Jewish media. And so he's using that analogy and that metaphor. You said for our sins. You know what sins mean? Without. For your lack. For your lack of intelligence. For your lack of knowledge. For your lack of knowing that no one is going to rescue you from under a bus. From your lack of not realizing that no one stood up for you in the media, but they did stand up for anti-Semitic remarks. Your sins are your ignorance, what you don't know. Okay. One of the miracles of Jesus was making a blind man see. That was a metaphor for making people open their eyes. Intelligence, light. Okay. That's why I say I am the light, because light represents intelligence. So he's bringing awareness, attention to the people that are blind, to the people that can't see, to the people that live in sin, that live in ignorance, that live without knowledge. And Meredith, Lucky Star Sprinkle Sprinkle, loving this chat. Thank you, Ashira. Thank you. Yeah. You said Lucifer light, exactly. And Lucifer was once an angel in the heavens. And in order to enlighten, or he fell, and Kanye fell and rose again, or will rise again, because a lot of people who study religion see that Lucifer or the devil and Jesus or whatever y'all call God, Lucifer, they're all a part or an aspect of self. We fall, but then we get up. We fail, but then we succeed. It's the same thing. You fail because of lack of knowledge. You succeed because you gain knowledge. So, for example, the pendulum swing or the law of rhythm You can now, and also the media, you can orchestrate how things go by your actions, by your timing to expose. Just like media can edit and make certain people look a certain way based on how they want the situation to look. Well, people can do that in real life by saying things, doing things, and reacting. So you said matrix bending. Exactly. So a lot of people are upset because more people are upset. You know, a lot of people spoke out against how Black Lives Matter was bad and this, and that. And nobody got canceled. Nobody lost contracts. But as soon as they said something that wasn't even like as bad, but was considered anti-Semitic, all contracts were lost. Because he's trying to show you who they care about and who they don't. You have to remember that. And he can't come out and say it because people will just call him crazy. So if he gets you to see it without him saying it, then you're not crazy. You're a prophet, or you're an enlightener, or you're someone that showed them when they were blind. You are someone that makes awareness. You are someone that shows truth. You are someone that exposes liars. And that's it. He's not trying, he don't care. He didn't care to lose billionaire status if they still treated him like they were treating him. You know what I'm saying? It's better to be free and go get your own billion after you terminate all of your competition strategically while exposing a lot of people that will try to bring you down when you try to start your own business. If you expose everything before you go and try to get your success, no one will listen to them. It's basically the same thing Donald Trump did by saying fake news. Do you know how many people stopped listening to the news when Donald Trump started saying fake news and started looking deeper into the news stories and checking facts and stuff like that? You know, fake news, he's saying fake news, fake news. Okay. The media were so mad at him when he would say fake news because the looks on the people's face, you know, the announcer's face or the newscaster's face would just be like this. Like, I know I'm lying, but you're supposed to play the game. He didn't play the game. He said fake news. What can you say to fake news? So, and a lot of people think that Kanye is doing the exact same thing that Donald Trump did before he ran for president. He's doing the exact same thing. He's talking trash about people. He's making racist comments. He's making anti-Semitic comments. He's getting all the people's attention. He's saying crazy stuff, doing crazy stuff, because he saw Donald Trump win after he made a fool of himself. And he saw how many people got exposed, and he saw how he knocked out all the competition. And so that's all he's doing. He ain't doing nothing but what Donald Trump did. Different thing, he's of color. It don't matter. It's still a working formula. And it will expose those people as well. That's why he had to throw all the White Lives Matter in there to expose, yes, he is a different color. Yes, he is going to speak about this and say this is fake and this and that, just to see who gets rescued, just to see who the media cares about, so that later he can pull those receipts. You see? He could say, y'all didn't say nothing about when I wore the White Lives Matter shirt or when I talked about, you know, Black Lives Matter. Y'all didn't cut no contracts. Even when the George Floyd's family tried to sue me, y'all didn't cut no contracts until I said something anti-Semitic. Then all contracts were cut. I have this receipt. Here it is. He's doing this to gather receipts. That's it. Remember in the interview how he said, wouldn't you just love to have that text if you find out somebody was cheating? Wouldn't you just love to have that text, even if you had to pay extra for it? This is what he said in the Drink Champs video. He said, "Wouldn't you just pay extra for that extra receipt, just so you know, like, I got you." He was trying to tell y'all right there. So this is how he has to speak in code. That's how he has to speak in code. All right. So that's why he's doing what he's doing. He's executing everything that he wrote, everything that he rapped. He's executing it. He also is making sure that he has his receipts. And a lot of people are just watching it unfold. It's all literally, you can't stop him. That's why he ain't worried. He said it's already done. I'm just letting it unfold now. And once you get, let me tell y'all something. This is the magical part. Once you get in this mindset, my vision clear, power remix. I have to listen to that remix. When your vision is that clear, it is limitless and unstoppable. Period. And with that level of confidence and whatever sounds and beats that he put on there, makes it that much more powerful. Every time they have a game in a stadium, they blast that Kanye power music. That power song is on Black Adam movie with The Rock. The song has been constantly blasted since it came out on commercials, in stadiums, at basketball games, at football games. All of that. He is complete alpha at this point. It's hard to bring him down. And that's why he brought himself down, because it's the law of rhythm. He could only bring him down. He brought him down. He brought himself down on purpose to show you something. And he's going to bring himself right back up. But he had to bring himself down temporarily to get the attention. Because if you're a billionaire walking around, talking noise like Kanye, making demands, da, 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 people, oh, you're a billionaire, no one cares, you're just complaining. But if he sacrifices something in the eye of the media, in the eye of his fans and all this kind of stuff for what he believes in, that's going to get your attention. When he sacrifices his billionaire status to get your attention, and then slowly go from place to place exposing them, he's very strategic. Like, his strategy level is out of this world. It can't even be dealt with. And it's not, let me tell y'all something. That strategy level is not, it doesn't always have to be planned. It has to be known. And there's a difference. And I'm going to tell y'all, because that's this book right here. This book, How to Manifest with Magic and Dark Cosmic Energy, basically says you have to know before you start. You can't hope. You can't wish. You can't feel like if it's meant for me, it's going to be. You have to know that you create this. And when you go in like that, it makes less doubt, and it boosts your self-esteem. You have a purpose. You have a vision. Not a guess, not a hope, but you have a knowledge, an underestimated intelligence, and a knowledge that becomes reality. You bring forth an intelligence that wasn't there before. You bring it out. It wasn't there before, but you bring it out by knowing instead of hoping, guessing, praying. You bring it out by knowing. Because words are very magical. If you know, you know. So When you know something, that means you have an intelligence, and that's automatic. It would be the equivalent to buying this book without even reading it and knowing everything in here to the fullest degree. Like in the Matrix, when Neo had to learn how to fight and all this kind of stuff, and they hooked him up to this screen, and everything he watched, he absorbed. Well, think about if you could do that with a book. If you just owned a book, that all the knowledge you could absorb from it without even having to read it. And then imagine this, going to read it and say, I already knew all this. I don't know how I knew, but I knew because I know, because I manifested that I know. See, this is how you do it. This is what I'm talking about. So let's say you're new to manifesting and you say, I wish, I hope, I want. I am. I know. Thank you. Those words mean I already have it. I already know it. I already am it. Period. That's how you get that. That's how you are able to just talk and things are revealed even unto you. Like when you speak, that's why he calls himself a prophet. He don't even know what he gonna say half the time. It just already come out right. It just comes out correct. Because he knows he has an underestimated intelligence. It's like having one of those earpieces in your ear, and all of a sudden you're in an interview or a conversation, and someone's giving you the answers as you need them. But it feels like you just gave yourself the answer instead. So that's all the knowing, the I am, the uses, the I am, the knowing, the power, I am a God, ye are gods, ye are gods, I'm unstoppable, I have no limits. All of that kind of speech gives you an intelligence because you're manifesting it and you're speaking it into existence. And where can it exist? Where can it exist if you're directing it towards yourself? That's where it exists. That's why people get too mad when you get too proud. People try to take you down when you get too proud, too big, too much, too influential, too rich. Why? Because you start becoming limitless. And he's teaching people how to become limitless. And he's teaching people how to think different, how to have higher self-esteem, and how to stay unbothered, and how not to care about what other people think, and how to see who's for you and who's against you. He's teaching people this through all the actions, all the music, and things like this. Yay. And so when I see him, I see universal law. I see loopholes. I see manipulation in universal law. I see an alchemist. I see someone using the law of correspondence. I see someone who is very much using this. This book teaches you how to manifest from creator level. So he said maybe we shouldn't overestimate his intelligence. We shouldn't. That's the genius of it. That's why it works. Because a lot of people will not give him that. That's why he takes it. A lot of people say, oh, he's a rapper. He's just some ignorant, crazy, ego inflated person. That's the disguise. That's the disguise for him to work undetected. You have that too? Me too. How can one stop being defensive due to past mistreatments and bullying? 20-year-old, how to move on from family who doesn't really value me like I value them. They're not really negative. Um, First of all, you have to flip how you see this. Why did they bully you? What about you is so great that they wanted to suppress it? That's number one. Find that answer and you will free yourself. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Play dumb and win. Exactly. So if you can't get over being defensive, go ask yourself why someone tried to put you down so long, so hard, so much. What is it about you that they were trying to suppress? What is it? Is it something great that they don't have or that they were afraid of or that they didn't understand? That is where your power is. Embrace it and use it. You said God self. Exactly. So for me, let's just say I was bullied for something. I don't even know. I'm gonna take it and flip it and say that's you praising me. That's you praising me. Whatever you're bullying me for is what you're praising me for because you're obviously jealous of it and you're trying to suppress it. So I'm gonna stand on that and flex it even harder. That's how you have to look at it. Okay. Whatever they're suppressing, they're afraid of. Whatever they're bullying you for, they're mad at themselves about. So whatever it is, stop being defensive and thank them for letting you know how important and special and talented or wherever it is about you that they were trying to suppress, for showing you, for putting emphasis on it. Because you weren't going to see it if they hadn't saw it first. Sprinkle, sprinkle. It means I have to go. Yeah, I see the positivity. But Johnny, sprinkle, sprinkle, thank you for being here, member. Member in the house. Reason why it's best to be yourself. Exactly. All right. And if people are bullying you from a choice that you made, you know, that's your choice. Live in your choice. That's the law of correspondence, cause and effect. You chose, you live. If you chose something that many people choose to bully, live in that and choose it still. Because people are going to bully you whether you choose that or not in some other form. So might as well be with the one you want, right? He said, glad we can all see the truth with Kanye and not sheep. A lot of people are still not understanding because a lot of people don't even listen to his music. Those that do probably understand on a deeper level than those that don't. Oh, Goddess Wild Red Sprinkle Sprinkle. Let me rephrase that. Those people that listen to the lyrics and not just the beat. I don't understand those type of people that don't listen to the lyrics. To me, y'all just missing the whole point. Um, have you ever ran into one of those people that don't listen to lyrics? They just I get mad. I just want to leave the whole place. I'm like, when I find a person that don't listen to lyrics, I have to distance myself. Oh, person, sprinkle, sprinkle. Sheba, I'm in the gym. Can you send one of your subs over to assist me? Person, you crazy. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I doubt that they will go, but thanks for the donation. What made you choose the goddess Ashira? Because I look like her. That's all. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I mean, you might as well. You look just like them. All right. He's a Gemini too. People underestimate us. They think we're clowns. I never thought Geminis were clowns. I mean, I think they're funny, but I know they're also geniuses. I think they're hilarious because they can clown, but they can also, handle business. I think it's hilarious. That's the best part. Like that's a really good combination. If you can make me laugh and you smart, that's a good combination. All right. Think about it. All right, I'm getting ready to go. I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.